Hey guys, it's Dave Becker, and I'm here in Minnesota at Brighten Beach, and I'm here with the Outdoor Painters of Minnesota, and we're going to be doing a painting real quick. Let me just show you really quickly what we're doing. We're going to be painting this scene right here. This is Lake Superior. You can see we got a couple people here that are going to be painting. A few people in the back here painting. And we're painting, this is Near Brighten Beach. An limnology lab here behind me. And let me just show you a little bit what we're going to be painting. I'm doing a fast study on a board that was given to me by a student, and I'm going to try this board. It's a crescent board, and I'm going to do watercolor. And we're going to start here with the sky. The sky is about to rain again, and in my last video. So we're going to just go in here and get the sky going. Board is kind of slick, so we'll see what it's like. I'm gonna go right over this dark spot because basically my composition will be this is light, and then all the land and stuff is gonna be dark. So let's go in here right away, get a nice gray going. And so let's get that gray in there, get a little more blue in there. And let it drip, because if it's dripping, see how it's kind of coming down this anyways, it's kind of dripping down. So give it a little water in there, let it drip more. And again, the more pigment, the less it's going to bleed. So more pigment, less bleeding. Take it down here, and look at it's kind of a warm yellowish orange for down here a little bit. Make it nice and warm. Let's put some more water in there, let it drip. See how it's just dripping down? Get the sky in there really nice, get it all done right from the get-go. A little violet in there. Let it drip with the water. And you can see here, that's what I'm painting with the darks. I'm going to try to do some waves and see how the waves work out for me. And let's make this nice. Get in there with a little bit dark blue. Kind of gray it up a little bit. A little violet in there. Again, the more pigment you have, the more it's going to stay dark. And it's not going to bleed all over the place. I didn't tape this down. This is a board that I'm working on, so it's going to be just a nice little board. And then the water, I'll go right into the water. Go right into the rocks. You don't have to worry about the rocks because the rocks will be... I do want to get a little bit of this orange in there. That's from this very distance, it's a little bit warmer. So a little bit warmed right there. You can hear the waves splashing in, I'm sure. And as I go down here, it's going to get lighter. I'm going to go with my lights first. I'll put my darks in later on when it comes to putting in the dark layers of the, a little bit up here. Forgot paper towel, so I'm using my finger. A little bit more violet up here, a little bit more violet in there. And this week, the OPM, the Outdoor Painters of Minnesota, are painting all through Duluth. And since I was here in Duluth, I thought I might as well just join them and do a little painting with them. And go right into the rocks, because the rocks and all the land is darker. So, and now if I look, I'm going to try to get these reflections in right away. Use my smaller brush. smaller brush to get in there. And just, you see there's certain spots right here, there's a little bit of darkness reflecting. And I might as well get that right away. Don't have to wait for that until later. Just get it in there. I want soft edges on some of this, and then some of it will be hard edged. And hopefully it won't start raining. It looks like it's going to start raining in a few minutes, and then I'll have to put the umbrella up real quickly so I don't ruin this whole painting I did like last time. See, I'm just getting these. These are just light washes in the background just to show that this is going to be darker later. And they're just reflections from the back. And a lot of times when you're doing waves, look, squint your eye to see. Squint your eyes to see what you're seeing and what part of the wave is dark, what part is light. There's one side of the wave that's always dark, and it's coming rolling in. I don't know if you can see that. See when the water's rolling in. Now there's darker reflections. These reflections back here. See that reflection right there, and that reflection. And then you just put in these smaller reflections in here, just to. And this board, I've never tried this board, but this board is actually very nice. I'm kind of really liking this board. I like not so much texture and things staying on top a little bit more. So this is a really nice board. I have to ask the student Maria where she got this from. I really like it. Do a little bit of darks now because this is all my lights. My lights are pretty much done for that. I'm going to go in here and get a little bit more of the waves. Just going to play with the waves a little bit here. So I'm doing the dark side of the wave. Get that all in there. Now we're going to put light greens. Light greens that I'm going to put over where the greenery is. I'll put the darks over that later. But right now we're just going to add a little bit of yellow and green and white. And we're just going to add this, because it's very light, some of this. And this is right here. And then the rocks themselves are pretty dark, but I'm gonna put a wash over them, so I'm gonna just cover them a little bit with a little bit of warmth, and then I'll make them darker. So this is the light part of the wash. It's actually a little bit more red. So get a little more red in there. Go with light red. Holbein's light red. It's like an orange. Some of the bridge red. Again, this is not the darks, this is just my lights. And so I'm going in here quickly. I only have so much time this morning, and so I'm going to be doing this pretty quickly. But this is basically just a sketch of the area, so then when you go back in your studio with your camera and your pictures, you can do a nice big one. This is Lester Creek coming out on this. There's a little bridge right here, that's Lester Creek. Look a little bit darker right there. It's going to be underneath the bridge. It goes up this way. It's kind of dark here. There is the highway right up on top there that goes up north to Grand Marais, the end there. Now I'm going to start and do my darks. Because this is dry up here now. I'm just going to do really quickly my darks. Some nice darks. Pulling some nice dark greens. And I'm going to just paint, I can draw the pictures of the trees like they are. getting pretty detailed with this, which is good. This is going to be my detail. This is my center of interest, so I can get detail in there. Oh boy, we got a fog coming in here now. Look at this. It's got a fog coming in. It's going to be probably raining in a second. So let's get this done quickly. I got to scoot out of here and be closer to done. Nice dark here. Inside this bridge. It's amazing how fast the weather changes here.
Now it's cooling off.
Yeah, it's getting really cold now. Look at, I don't know if you can see this, but it's getting really. There's a mist coming in, a haze. I got my palette, show you my palette. Get this in here real quickly. Tap this. Nice dark green. You got this like foliage here. There's a little bit green back there, but again, like I always do, I'm going to put a little bit of color into this green as it goes around the side here. And it's cut out the shape of my front part too, this bridge. It is getting really super cold right here right now. Here we have some people on the beach. They're painting over there. And you can see, look at that beautiful sun back there. I probably should get that in there. I may put that into my scene. We got other people painting. Let's see what we're doing here. So now we're going to go in and get this going here. There's a nice lighter green tree right here. Uh-oh, just felt a drop. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Let's go faster. Get this done before it starts raining. It's not going to rain. It just looks like it's misting. I have to put my umbrella real quickly if it does start raining, so we don't ruin this whole picture that I just started. This back here, I'm going to make not quite as dark a green. These are a little farther back, so I can maybe make these not quite as dark. Sorry, I can't. If you're asking any questions, sorry, I can't look at it at the moment. I may go back into the sky because I really like how the sky is misty. Shore here, get a nice shoreline. You gotta take into account, you know, a lot of times you may have to stop early because of the rain or whatever, but this is all, it's good to be out here and just have fun. Fun time, people just painting, and you can see what everyone else is doing. This club is from Minnesota. You don't need to be a resident, but you know, it's a far way to drive, but they have all kinds of events that they go, and they're going to do all weekend. They're doing painting in Duluth, so you can paint here in Duluth all weekend with them. They pick out a spot and you just join them. And so here we go, a little bit getting there, and we are going to do this little light that's on top of the pole. Make them more red. Boy, we've been really lucky. It feels like it wants to do something, but it's just staying nice and calm. See the bridge. Oh boy, I feel it. Oh no. gonna put up an umbrella real quick because it feels like it's gonna start raining in a second. I don't want to ruin everything I've done. There we go. I may have to hold this for a second and paint it while holding it. Yep, it's starting to rain now. So holding the umbrella and painting at the same time. I'm going to attach it, but I just don't have time right at the moment. I want to get this done. Nice dark brown here. These rocks are nice and dark. Look at how nice and dark these rocks are. So I'm just going to put them in really nice and dark. More along the shoreline here. And underneath the bridge here is really dark. Going with some of the greens and darks. The edge of the water here is kind of darkish brown also. A lot of purple in this, so you know me and purple, I love purple, so I'm putting them in there nice and dark. I have a purple brown that's called Imidazolone brown that I use for that. And I also put lavender and some lilac in there and lavender. I'm going to go back in the sky because it didn't get quite dark enough, but I'll do that in a second. Little rocks along here. Make this back here nice and dark too, because that's actually just green. So I'll put that back in there. Kind of flirt around with a little bit of greens in here. Next to the bridge is a little bit of green. There's the little information center over there, which is actually blue, so I'll just put a little blue underneath there. Information center, which you can find out what's going on in the North Shore of Lake Superior. Something like this. And I'm going to try to do a little bit of trickiness with the waves. I'm going to try to get the waves like the hard edge because I came up there this week and I also wanted to learn about waves. And so sometimes you put in your mind the things that you want to learn, and I'm kind of practicing for the Plein-air Fest that's going to be in Grand Marais, which I was at yesterday to look at Grand Marais. And there's an exhibition going on there. The Lake Superior Watercolor Society. It was really nice. All just rocks right there. And I think it's stopped raining. I can take my hair down there. Now we're gonna work the water. And maybe the sky again, because the sky doesn't seem quite dark enough as it is out there. Or maybe not, we'll see. A little brown in here again. The Imidazolone brown was the brown I was talking about. It's kind of a purpley brown. Now we're going to get into the darks in the water. So I'm basically going to take the nice dark colors that are up here, the dark browns, and it's going to reflect in the water, because it's not that the water is brown, it's the fact that the reflection, it's reflecting up like a mirror of this in the water. So it's also patterned. It kind of goes up like this, and it keeps on going down, 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 down. I kind of do it horizontally. A little bit of violet, a little bit of blue in there, make it kind of grayish. It's pretty dark. So, and a good way to show you what you're doing is squint your eye at the water and look at the water and look for the big picture of the waves in the water. You don't have to do every single wave, but you just kind of figure out what is the biggest part of the wave, the darkest part. And then this tree right here comes down. This in here, there's a little bit in here. This is going to be a nice study. One day I'm going to have to really study the water to a T and just really kind of figure out one side of the wave is a little bit darker, one side is a little bit lighter. And I can also use opaques in here to make it a little bit more opaque. And see how the reflections now are in the waves. And so now the light's coming out a little bit more, so I can actually use opaque colors. So I'll use white because it's kind of a yellowy white. I'll go in there and I will put the waves of white in there to reflect the light side of the wave. One day I'm just going to come down here and just do nothing but waves and just study them and keep on painting. It's a good way of learning things. It's just taking one item in the picture and just work it until you figure out how to do it. Here I'm just taking white, opaque white to get the top of the wave. Now go to the dark side. So I'm going to take a little violet, a little blue. I'm just going to, with each wave, the big part of the wave just kind of falls together with a lot of the waves here. And there's no cheating it. You just basically have to put them all in, every wave, every little part of the wave, just put it in there. Again, if you're asking questions, you can put them out there. Maybe later on I will look at all the, if you have a question, I'll look later and I'll answer it on the Facebook part of this, the description. When you're talking, if you're talking, then I can answer it later. See, I'm just putting my lines back and forth, trying to follow the waves. And over here it gets really dark. Let me see how it looks in the... Alright. Now I'm going to the sky again because I don't have a mister here, the mister that I can re-wet it, so I'm going to wet it really lightly with my big brush and I'm going to take it down a little bit farther so I get the light that's shining through here really nicely. And actually the background water back here is a little bit darker, so I'm just going to make the horizon line. A little bit of that back here. Back and forth, making the ripples. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken my sky, so I'm going to take the water, preferably clean water, but I'm just going to take it over everything here. So if you lightly put water over it, then it becomes like wet, like the first wash. It's not going to do anything to it, too dramatic, and now I'm just going to put a darker color over it. So you can always go over twice, it doesn't really matter. People think that you can't with watercolor, but yes you can. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. And this board actually is very, very nice. It's a crescent board. And so I'm going to find out where this, where she got it. But I would really like to use this again. I'm putting a little bit of this color from the sky into the water right away too. Darken it. More purpley blue. I'm going to get a little bit darker here. Probably a little bit more purple in there. I'm going to wipe out the water. I don't have paper towel with me today, so I'm wiping it on my hands, which is not the best thing to do. Just going to bring this down. A little bit darker, and this way it'll also fall down on its own if it's a little wet. And that's what's happening. If you look out there, I don't know if you can see. If you're looking out there, see how it's just coming down and this, and I like that little bit of the light warmth coming through there. Same color down here. Always pretend to put the same color out from the top down to the bottom. Get some light through there a little bit. Alright guys, I think I'm almost done here. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker in the corner here, and then we're going to be done. So a really nice little quick quick sketch to show you. A little plein air painting here in Duluth, Minnesota, with the Outdoor Painters of Minnesota. OPM, you can go on their website and find out what they're doing. And they always have little paint outs like this. And this weekend it's all Duluth. So if you're in Duluth, find out where they're at. Go on the website and you'll find out where they're painting, and you can join in with the paints. The painters, I mean. That. I'm just going to put a little bit of, wet this up a little bit here. Kind of get rid of this line here. I don't need a line right there. I'm going to put maybe a little bit darker through here. Darker, it's coming down here and there. More purple up here. It's just going to dry lighter, so I'm just going to put a little bit darker than I think I should have it. Put down here at the same time. I think, let's see what you guys think. Here we have the scene of near Brighten Beach down here in Duluth. And there's the scene itself. So kind of like what it is. I probably could go darker with this area, but I'm going to leave it at this. And I will talk to you guys next time. Alright? Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.